Weir. So we're going to do our topic of the day, and then we're going to get into your questions, do a Q&A once we talk about the topic of the day, which is what happens when you die. This is not a metaphysical presentation. This is the Social Security Medicare version. So in terms of your questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat down there. And then once we talk about what happens when you die, all the Social Security benefits, survivor benefits, and all that kind of stuff, then we'll get into the questions, and we'll answer as many questions we can within about an hour or so. All right, so let's get right into it. I guess we can have a tad bit of fun with it. Let's see here. There is a great 21st century philosopher that gave.
What do you think happens when we die, Keo Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
All right, I think that's pretty awesome. Keo Reeves, the great 21st century philosopher. What happens when we die? You know, we're not going to talk about religion or philosophy and stuff, but I think he gave a great explanation. People that love us will miss us. So, okay, all right. So let's, what happens when you die in terms of Social Security? Okay, if you're currently receiving Social Security monthly benefits, regardless, whatever it is, disability, spouse benefits, retirement benefits, anything, SSI or anything. What happens to the last check? The last check, basically, let me switch my thing around here. Got this new system that's pretty awesome, but I'm still getting used to it. Okay, all right. So what happens to the last check? You have to be alive the entire month to be eligible for that month. That's why people always ask, okay, why does Social Security, when I started my benefits, retirement, disability, whatever, why does the January check come in February or the February check come in March? Because of that, because inevitably we will kick the bucket, shuffle off this mortal coil and all that kind of good stuff. And Social Security wants to catch it at the end. So Social Security regulation is that you have to be alive the entire month to be eligible for that month. So let's say this is March. So if you pass away March 31st in the morning, then you weren't alive the entire month. You had to stay, living and breathing the entire month to be entitled to that month. So if you passed away April 1st, you'd be entitled to the March benefit. Okay. All right. And how does that work? Basically, it's kind of automatic for most states. The coroners and funeral homes and everything, they have an electronic notification system. That's why on the death certificate, you have to put the Social Security number of the individual on there. And then the electronic registry goes to the state, and the state talks to the Social Security Administration, and then the Social Security Administration essentially tells the Department of Treasury, which is the agency that actually cuts the checks. And then if the check has already gone into the bank, you get paid on the first week of the month or something like that. And if the check is already in the bank, don't worry about it. Just leave it in there. The Department of Treasury will suck it out, go in there and grab it and pull it out if the person wasn't, again, alive during the entire month. Sometimes, depending on the situation, you might just have to refund the check. But usually if you just keep it in the bank account, if they have direct deposit, then everything is automatic, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right. So what about the infamous lump sum death benefit, the lump sum death payment, LSDP? That's I've again, retired district manager of the Social Security Administration. I've issued hundreds of thousands of these, and nobody has ever said woo $255 for a $10,000 burial. Yeah, thank you. No. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It probably cost the agency more to, kind of manage and administer that particular payment. But anyway, so that goes to the surviving spouse, the current spouse, not ex-spouses or divorced spouses or anything, or children on the record. So if the person was not married at the time, didn't have a spouse, then if there's a child on the record, the lump sum goes to the child. If there's two children on the record, then it's divided by two. And I've divided checks by three. $255 divided by three. Yeah, it was, yeah. Anyway, so there's that. So the lump sum death payment, it's been the same for decades and decades and decades, and I don't see it changing. But some people say, well, it's, I am the, I get adult children that come in and say, hey, I want the last check because, we had to pay for this. And that was, my late mother or father's money. And we want that $255 because, we had to pay for the burial. And unfortunately, yeah, they don't get it unless they're disabled adult children and they're receiving disability on that person's record, then they can get it. But if they're not receiving benefits on that record, then yeah, unfortunately, they won't get it. So $255, yeah, pretty sad, but there it is. That's why, again, I've put together a team throughout the country that helps with all things. My recommendations, government benefits are never enough. So I've put together a partner team throughout the country that can help with, Medicare plans and life, burial insurance and all the rest of it. So if you need any help there, make sure you reach out. Just call that number or email me and I will find someone in your area. Just tell me what you're looking for. Again, because after all, Social Security is insurance, Federal Insurance Contributions Act and all the rest of it. So, okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So, survivor benefits themselves. All right. So if you have a surviving spouse that's on the record, that is, the surviving spouse is currently receiving benefits on that record of the deceased, then basically you don't have to do anything. So if they're already receiving spouse benefits, then when Social Security is notified of the passing, Social Security automatically converts that into a widow benefit or widower benefit. And the calculations, watch my videos on surviving spouse benefits. And there's, it depends how old their surviving spouse is. If the surviving spouse is their full retirement age, then the surviving spouse will essentially get what that person was receiving. Even the delayed retirement credits. A lot of YouTubers and TikTokers get that wrong out there. When you're alive, you don't get the delayed retirement credits of your spouse. But as a surviving spouse, you do. So watch my video on surviving, and I explain it a little bit more in detail on that. So so that's if you're on the record. If you're already receiving benefits, and it just, we call it in Social Security, we call it auto convert. It just converts automatically. If you're not currently receiving spouse benefits, then you will have to file. So you'll have to call the Social Security Administration. You can't do this online. They've tried it a few times, sometimes. And so, yeah, not able to do it online yet. Maybe one day. But you call the 800 number, schedule an appointment, and for a surviving spouse claim. And in terms of, so depends on how old you are. If you're full retirement age, you'll essentially receive what that person was receiving. And let me get into the children, and then I'll get into what kind of documentation you need. So in terms of the children, if you have children under the age of 18 or that are still in high school, they can continue until they're graduate high school or 19 in a couple of months. Or if you have children that became disabled before the age of 22, they can receive benefits as surviving children, right? So watch my videos on that. and for a lot more detail. And what a lot of people miss out there is if you have a surviving spouse and there are children under the age of 16 or that became disabled, disabled children, disabled adult children, and the surviving spouse is taking care of them. And then because of having to take care of them, they've cut back their work and they're under the annual earnings limit, which this year is what, 22,320. As long as you're under that, you can also collect what's called auxiliary child in care benefits. And I have a video that goes into all the details on that. So basically, if you have, a couple of kids that you're taking care of under the age of 16, the mother or father passes away, the surviving spouse can collect benefits for the two children and also possibly receive that child in care benefits or surviving child in care benefits. But there's also a family max. There's a maximum that can be paid out on a particular record, and the spouse has to keep under a certain limit in terms of annual earnings. So there's a lot of variables there, but I just want to kind of throw that out there because so many people forget to file for that and are losing a lot of money. So that's what we're here. That's why I'm doing all these crazy videos so more people can get money and the money they're entitled to. And that's why I need your help getting this information out there, because I can do videos all day long, but it doesn't matter if if it's not out there. All right, so yeah, if you can share on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, and email it to your friends and family, and contact the local TV news and newspapers, and if you got any celebrity relatives, yeah, please, 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 we really, really need your help. All right, so let's see here. Documentation. So if you got any questions on this, specific questions, make sure you put it in the chat down there. And once I finish this, we'll get into all your questions. And please, everybody press everybody press like right now. So this gets out to more people. All right, documentation. As I said, the death certificate, those are electronically conveyed to Social Security Administration and therefore, Department of Treasury and Medicare. So if a person is on Medicare, there one notification from the funeral home to the state does everything. It puts everything else into action. So in terms of filing for survivor benefits or that lump sum death benefit or anything like that, usually I don't recommend, because those death certificates are expensive, 50, 60 bucks or something for a copy of them. So you don't necessarily need one for the Social Security Administration because they've, already been, electronically notified. If you're currently married to that person, then, you just need the marriage certificate that you were married. You have to be married at least 9 months. There's some exceptions. Marriage certificate if you're going to be filing for a survivor and spouse. The birth certificates of the kids if you're going to be filing for surviving child benefits. And Social Security also has a record of that too when you applied for the children's Social Security number. That's why they ask all that information. What are your parents' names and everything like that? So there is proof of that. But it doesn't hurt to also get the birth certificate there. All right, so documentation, and again, you can just call the 800 number, get this over the phone, do it over the phone. It's relatively easy to get it done. It immediately call Social Security though, as soon as possible, and set up an appointment, because now the appointments take a month or 2 months to actually get. You won't lose any benefits while you're waiting. So if your appointment isn't for 2 months, then they can start your benefits when the person passed or you called them. So make sure you call them and at least set the kind of the gears in motion. All right, and I talk about this when on my surviving spouse. I did a couple of videos on surviving spouse or surviving benefits. The gold standard. I talk about this one lady that came in. Because usually, when you lose a loved one, you've got so much other, obviously very sad and despondent, and the family is, going through and do all the funeral and all the legal stuff, and to deal with all the bureaucracy above and beyond that is any time to deal with the bureaucracy is always tough, and that's why I'm doing all these videos to help you. But it's good to prepare as best as you can. And I had this one lady, and again, I've taken hundreds of thousands of surviving, spouse and child benefits claims when I worked at Social Security. But this one lady really stands out. They were married for 60, 70 years, and her husband put together an entire binder, and it had everything in there, like mortgage documents and insurance documents and wills and trusts and final this and his DD 214, his military thing, his birth certificate, everything was just in there. And he put a couple of little notes in there, and it's like, if you're reading this, then I'm no longer here. And it was pretty awesome. So if y'all get to go to, please do that. Look out for the loved ones as Keo Reeves that are going to miss you, and make their life easier. Try to get something set aside for the burial and all the documentation and everything. Please get that done, and put a few little notes in there. I think that'd be a beautiful thing. So that's the gold standard of preparing for the inevitable. All right, let's see here. Let's get into some. All right. Let's get into some questions. Please, everybody, press like. All right. Let's see here. Greg asked, does it matter if you check your My SSA account daily? Does SSA monitor it? No. Yeah, you can check it. You can check it daily. I mean, they monitor it in the sense of, they want to see if people are using it. But yeah, Social Security, there's a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers out there that try to scare you, and so you'll push the button and watch their video, and that's their business plan, is to scare you and talk about all this crazy stuff that you're going to get $1,000 next month. And yeah, it kind of ruins it, because number one, it's clickbait, and number two, they just say this outrageous thing, these outrageous things that's going to happen, and then you call Social Security and find out about it, and it's a waste of time, and customer service is bad enough. They don't need a whole bunch of people calling out, what about this benefit I heard online, and what about this, and I heard spouse benefits are going away. And yeah, so YouTubers, TikTokers, please stop it. If you don't know what you're talking about, then just what's the old thing? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So there's that. So yeah, no, you can check it out. Not sure why you would check it every day, but yeah, if you want to, go for it. More power to you. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Why or when can I file for disability and retirement at the same time? Yeah, anytime before your full retirement age. Once you hit your full retirement age, then yeah, nobody gets disability. I get calls all the time. Oh, I'm 80 years old and I live in Texas. I'm on disability. I say, okay, you got two of those, right? Nobody's on disability after their full retirement age. It's automatically switched to retirement benefits. But yeah, if you're 62 years old and you just can't work anymore because of your disability, and your disability is going to last 12 months or longer, watch, I'm doing a series on disability. So I've got like 2 or 3 videos up there. And so please watch that. But yeah, you can file for disability and retirement at the same time. And watch my video, because there's a different calculations. If you get your retirement a few months early, start your benefits coming in. Once you get your disability, it's going to be reduced a little bit, those number of months that you've got your early retirement. But usually, the reason people do it is they say, okay, I can't work anymore. I've got no income coming in. I need disability, but Social Security disability takes 3, 6, 9, 12 months to get approved, and I can't wait that long. I need money coming in. So that's why people file for retirement at the same time, which is a very good strategy. Yes, go for it. If you need the money coming in, that retirement money coming in, please file for both at the same time. It's called a rib dib. So when you call Social Security, and tell them, set up your appointment, tell them you want to set up a rib dib. And as soon as they hear you use that internal lingo, they'll know that you know what you're talking about. And so they'll, say, oh, okay, this gal has done some research. So, all right, let's see here. Sabu Soto, hey, hi, hey, what's up? Let's see here. Norma, do you have to notify Social Security about the death? No. Again, 99% of the time, I think pretty much every state now is online. Yeah, you don't, it's all automatic. It takes place automatic. Let's see. Mary B, I adopted a child. Good for you. Awesome. If I were to pass away, would she qualify for benefits? Absolutely. Adopted children are children. The Social Security doesn't make any, difference whatsoever. Natural, adopted, your child. If the child, again, obviously the child has to be under the age of 18 or disabled before the age of 22. But yes, absolutely 100% that child would be eligible. Doesn't matter if adoption. So good on you. Mark, I turned 70 May 22nd, filed online, said to start me at a full benefits at 70. Said to ask May start. Is this correct, or will start age 69? Yeah, the month you turn 70, yeah, it's different than like if you file at 62, you have to be 62 the entire month. And they consider you the prior month. And, it's a strange calculation. But for 70, yeah, the month you turn 70 is your max delayed retirement credits. So, yep, May start date is a beautiful thing. And you'll get your May check in June. And you were born on the 22nd, so you will get it on the 4th Wednesday of the month. How it works is if you're born on the first 10 days, you'll get it on the 2nd Wednesday. The second 10 days is on the 3rd Wednesday, and the last 10 days and extra is on the 4th Wednesday of the month. And you're like, what happened to the first week? Those are SSI and people that have been receiving benefits for a long time. One thing that people ask is trying to remember some of the questions I've had recently in the comments. People say that, hey, I'm getting my check on the 2nd or 3rd Wednesday or whatever, and but my rent and mortgage is due this time, and so I'd really like to get it changed. You can request to get your payday changed, so you have to request it at your local district office, and unfortunately, for some reason, they can't approve it. It has to go through one of the regional processing centers, and yeah, I don't know why. I mean, if you show some type of hardship that you just need your check on the, the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd or something, then should be able to do it. But the local office should be able to do it. But for some reason, they don't. Yeah, Social Security doesn't allow local offices to do it. But you can request it, and they will, see if they can do it. Thinking of another question. Oh, okay. There's another question somebody asked that I said I was going to answer. Please, everybody, press like. The adopted child, you were talking about children receiving Social Security benefits. When children receive Social Security benefits, retirements, auxiliary children, or surviving child benefits, or whatever the case may be, because they're children, they can't take care of their own benefits. So what happens is when you apply, they take the application for the benefits, and they also take an application for you to be the representative payee. Okay. And then when you're the representative payee, there's been some fraud involved in, people, foster children and, ex-spouses fighting about the money and all this kind of different stuff. So Social Security, rightly so, has this yearly form that they send out and says, okay, hey, last year you received, $12,000 total for your child. Tell us what you did with it. And if you're like the natural or the adopted parents, Social Security doesn't care. You just put down there, I put a roof over their head and gave them food. Yeah, and that's it. So some people are paranoid. Oh, can I put it in a special account? And do I have to do this? And can I use it for this other thing? And if you're the natural or the adopted parent, and then yeah, it's not an issue. Um, the only time it becomes an issue, most of the times I've found the nightmare cases I've adjudicated is when you have the parents are divorced and they have like 50-50 custody. Social Security can't give this person 50%, the other person 50%. So they have to decide, okay, where does the child live most of the time? Where does the child, go to school? That what district, and therefore, what home? So Social Security kind of has to make that determination. I used to have to make that determination. Says, okay, we're going to give it to this parent. And invariably, within a few months, the other parent would contact Social Security and say, hey, they're not using it for this, that, and the other, and they're using it to go out there and party and get their nails done and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, that was, yeah. But if you're the natural parent and, you don't have ex-spouse and all that kind of stuff, then, just fill out the form and say, yep, you know, the kid has a roof over their head, and every now and then I'm taking them to McDonald's and whatever. But yeah, the Social Security doesn't care really, as long as the child, not being called into, protective services or something. All right. Do 1099 workers get points towards Social Security? Absolutely. If you actually file, and because that's your responsibility. So 1099s don't automatically. 1099 means you're, contractor, subcontractor, whatever the case may be. So it's your responsibility to do your taxes and pay your 15%. That's what a lot of people are surprised at. If you're just a regular W-2 wage earner, then your, FICA taxes, you're paying the 6.2 for Social Security and another 1.45 for Medicare. And then your employer is paying the other part. But if you're self-employed, you don't have an employer. You're your own employer. So you have to pay both of those. So a lot of people freak out, oh my God, 15%. And so they manipulate some way so they don't have to pay it. And believe me, I can tell you a million stories 20, 30, 40 years later when you go to retirement and Social Security says, okay, here's your retirement check, $300 a month. And you're like, how can I live on that? So, well, it's a pay or use play. It's, if you don't pay into it, you're not going to get it. So you might have a few dollars here, but 20 or 30, 40 years from now, when you retire, then 99.9% of the people that I've talked to regretted not doing it right, So there's that. There's my 2 cents. Donna, hey, what's up, Anna? How you doing? All right. I'm not reading these questions before I pop them up. I'm reading as I go, so please don't sneak anything in there, all you internet trolls. Can the surviving spouse who is not yet at FRA switch to their own Social Security benefits, assuming it is better when they get to FRA? A surviving spouse who is not yet FRA? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, surviving spouse, absolutely. So that is a very, very good strategy. So if you can collect surviving spouse benefits, then when you do, check on both. So say, okay, hey, if I start my surviving spouse benefits this month, how much will it be? And they'll tell you. And then you say, okay, if I start my own benefits this month, how much will it be? And they'll tell you. And then ask them, says, okay, well, this is easy for the claim specialist to do. They just, change the button. And then if you say, okay, how much is if I wait for surviving for another year? How much if I do, my own for another year? And that way you've got all those numbers and you say, oh, okay, all right. So, okay, that sounds good. So it looks like I can go ahead and I file for surviving benefits, and then I can let my benefits increase. Every month you wait, it increases. Once you hit your full retirement age, it increases all the way to 70. Definitely take it at 70 because it's not going to increase anymore, other than obviously COLA and everything. And whenever this one is $100 more a month, or $200 more a month, or $300 more a month, whatever you decide, then says, oh, okay, all right, I'm going to go ahead and jump on my own. You call up Social Security Administration and say, yep, I want to go ahead and switch over. There's actually a unit. Each office has a a person designated to send out those letters to people that say, hey, you're currently receiving surviving spouse benefits, but there's more benefits on your record. Why don't you come on in? But people get so much junk mail and they don't understand what it's talking about, and they throw it away or they move. And so there's hundreds of thousands of people that are not receiving the benefits they're entitled to because they don't know about that. And that's why please like and share and contact your local news. And I would love to appear on your local news and tell them about the channel and all the videos that we put together. So please. All right, let's see here. If I pass away overseas, how can my spouse claim widow benefits? Yeah, same way. If you're living overseas, you have to do the SSA 1761 or 62. I always forget. 60. There's two forms, one for children and one, but I think it's a 1762. It's basically you're living overseas, and the headquarters at Social Security sends you a letter every year wherever you're living overseas, and it's people call it the I'm not dead letter, proof of life letter, because when you're living overseas, they don't notify the Social Security Administration, so every year you have to fill out that form and return it, and if you don't return it, your benefits will stop. Okay? All right, so if you have a surviving spouse, then they're what's called the Federal Benefit Unit, and they're throughout. There's one in Rome and London and Manila, and they're all over the world through the U.S. embassies. And so you just contact the FBU, the Federal Benefits Unit, in your geographic location, and they can see if that person is entitled. It's super complicated because there's totalization agreements, and so sometimes you have to be living in the United States to get those benefits, or you have to go back to the United States every now and then. But there's also totalization agreements with particular countries that if you're a citizen of this particular country, you don't have to jump through all those hoops and stuff. But there is on SSA.gov, there is a tool that helps you. It'll ask you like 4 or 5 questions, and it'll tell you exactly whether that person is entitled to benefits. So. All right, let's see. Had my hearing with the ALJ, the administrative law judge, last week. Vocational expert said no to all the judge's hypothetical work scenarios. Is that a good sign of approval for SSDI? 58-year-old retired correctional, 100% veteran. Yeah, so the people asked about that. The veteran status, that's a separate thing. In my office, we had a lot of disabled vets that were working, so the veterans disability is a completely different animal. And by the way, let me throw this out there. I'm going to do a video sometime in the near future about working at Social Security. It's I loved working at Social Security. It was awesome. The employees were awesome. They're hardworking. They're tasked with too much. They've got they really need help, and sometimes because of that it stresses them out, and some people are rude, but anyway, yeah, highly dedicated. This coming from an old Marine Corps sergeant, so yeah, they're very motivated Social Security employees. But if you're interested in working even with 100% a disabled vet, you can actually some people out there can work. And government agencies, it's easier to hire vets. So if anybody's out there, you or your friends, family looking for a job, highly recommend Social Security. It's an awesome place to work. Okay, so is that I got off on a sidetrack there? Sorry. Nobody. Yeah, I'd hate to read the mind of a judge, but I mean, yeah, based on what you're writing there, that sounds good. Watch my video on new to disability. What happens next? I think that's the title of it. It goes into, okay, now you've been approved for disability, And here's what Social Security, the claim specialist, should tell you about what to expect in the future. So watch that video. If you are in ALJ, so they just might approve you going back 2 years, so you might get a big chunk of change, and you just might start your Medicare. If you're approved this month, your Medicare might start next month, because it starts after 2 years of being on disability. And if they say, okay, judge says, okay, you're approved and we're going to take you back 2 years, then that's 2 years. So you're ready for Medicare. So as always, you can call my my Medicare partner team. And if they determine you're on Medicare, you need to fill out a whole bunch of financial gaps there of original Medicare. So call my team and they can help you out. And good luck. Hopefully it passes. Jay, thanks. You're welcome. Thank you. Let's see here. Joe, I am collecting Social Security. When my wife starts her Social Security, can she file using her own record and then switch to spousal benefits later when she turns fraud? Okay. So wife starts her Social Security. Yes. So she can file on her own record. Yes, absolutely. And then switch to spouse. Well, not switch, but add. Absolutely. Yeah, that's called the split strategy. And you watch my video, the 2 videos on spouse benefits. So you can file for benefits on her own. And then, you have to be receiving benefits. And then she can get up to 50%. Depends on when she files. If she waits until her full retirement age, she'll get 50%. Anything before that, it's reduced. Okay. But absolutely, you can do that. Diana, we'll be working while collecting my Social Security in June. Yeah, working and receiving benefits. I did a video on that. And yeah, if you are under your full retirement age, you can absolutely work just as long as you stay under the annual earnings limit. If you're just starting in June and you're still working and working for full time, but starting in June, you're going to reduce your work, and this is your first year receiving it, then you just have to stay under the monthly limits. And for this year, it's $1,860. So you have to stay under $1,860 starting in June for the rest of the year. And then next year, you have to stay under the annual limit, whatever Congress decided it's going to be, $23,000, $24,000 next year. And anything over that, they will hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. So make sure you watch my video on what's the title? Working while receiving benefits. It gets into more detail about when you turn your full retirement age and all that kind of good stuff. And can you talk about the 1099 form? Yeah, 1090 form is just a IRS thing. It's a you get a W-2 or a 1099. So if you are kind of self-employed, then your employer, or you're not really your employer, I guess you're whoever you work for, like you're self-employed, you're contracted. So if you work for Uber or whatever, you're not an employee, you're a 1099. So they give you a 1099, and then you have to get with your tax person and figure out subtract all your expenses and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not a tax expert, so yeah, there's that. So you need to talk to your accountant or tax preparer. All right, awesome. Thanks, Ed. Are you a First Check Coffee? Awesome, good deal. Yeah, appreciate it. Yes. You can click on the little thanks button down there and buy me a coffee or a beer. Or, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. Make sure you subscribe and everybody like and all that kind of good stuff. Hello. All right. Hello. Just caught your broadcast. My sister passed away. Sorry about that. Unexpectedly disabled from birth. She was on SSI disability. No, nothing. What do I do regarding her payments? Yeah. So basically, if she's getting direct deposit, then Department of Treasury will go in there and just grab it automatically. If she wasn't getting direct deposit or something like that, then they'll just send a letter to the last known address, and yeah, they'll cancel the check basically. And so, yeah, you pretty much don't have to do anything. Let's see here. Oh, Diana Cooper. Okay, so this is about the 1099. Yeah, so that's a tax type thing. Well, okay, if you're going to file, I think you said you're going to be filing in June. Yes, so if it depends if you're your full retirement age. Yeah, so if you're making 50,000 and you're not, your full retirement age, 66 and 8 months or 10 months or whatever the case may be, then you're going to be overpaid. Um, Again, it depends what you're going to do starting in June. So she says her monthly check is 2150, so that's over the 1860. So yeah, Social Security shouldn't start your benefits this year. Again, if you're under full retirement age. Interpol Farms, hey, what's up? Support live chat with Dr. Ed Weir. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. That's Interpol Farms is always awesome. I have to Google you one day and see what you do. All right. Smash the yes, please. Smash the thumbs up button. Yes. Okay, Diana, should I keep my earnings annually under 21,000 while collecting Social Security? Absolutely. 22,320, I think it is this year. Yeah. So as long as you're under the annual limit, then you can collect your full benefit and nothing will be withheld. All right, let's see. Donna. Hey, Donna. Hi, Ed. I am disabled widow who collects my my husband's Social Security disability benefit. He would have been 65. Should I be getting his full Social Security benefits? Yeah, when they do the calculation, so disabled widows benefits can get benefits from 50 to 60 years old. And then once you get that benefit amount, it's not really reduced. So yeah, your benefit amount is your benefit amount. What some people do if they're able to, this is okay. Well, you've got these work limitations when you're receiving disability, and some people, not many, but some people, when they turn their retirement age, their own 62, 63, 64, whatever the case may be, they see if they can get off and collect just regular retirement and not disability. And yeah, so there's all kinds of variables there. But yeah, once you're receiving any type of disabled benefit, then that's yeah, pretty much the most you can get. Yeah, if you're 55 years old receiving disability, it's as if you waited till your full retirement age. But again, because you're going to be missing all those years of earnings, it's not what the Social Security statement. The Social Security statements, you go online to SSA.gov, which I recommend everybody do. Go on SSA.gov and plan and say, okay, here's how much my benefits are going to be when I turn 62. Here's how much they're going to be when I turn my full retirement age. And those are estimates based on future projections. So Social Security says, okay, you're currently making about this much money, $50,000, $60,000 a year. We figure this person is going to continue making that much going forward. So given that, at 67, here's how much your benefit is going to be. But then, something happens, you lose your job, or you decide to, travel the world, and you're planning on that 67 amount that was given, but that's not accurate anymore. Because Social Security determines your benefit amount by obviously the high 35 years of earnings. Yes. So, all right, let's see here. Therese Bowens, retiring August 2024, will be 60. And my husband is deceased and I was stopped from receiving survival. He would be turning 63, so I would get a delayed benefits also. Thanks for answering. All right, so I'm not sure why. Okay, so you can get surviving spouse benefits at 60. Not sure why they would stop you. If you were married to him for the 10, what you were married to him, so it wasn't ex-husband. So yeah, if you were married to him for at least 9 months, and there is exceptions there, um, when he passed, then you would be entitled to surviving spouse benefits. The only way they would stop you is if you're working and earning over the annual earnings limit. And if you're working and earning too much, then you're still entitled. You just have to stop working or reduce your income in order to get those benefits. He would be turning 63, so I would get delayed benefit. Yeah. So, and then, because you're going to be receiving those benefits early as just a surviving spouse, your monthly benefits amount would obviously be reduced, because you're taking it very early at 60. The lady from Social Security told me be careful about going into a higher tax bracket. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. Social Security employees are not tax professionals. Everybody should, it's like, yeah, they shouldn't give tax. It's like, be careful making more money. Yeah, anyway, let's see here. I homeschool my son, who will turn 18 years old on August 11th. He still has a year of school. His dad died when he was 14, and he's been receiving survivor benefits. Can he keep receiving benefits? Yes. Yeah, there is you have to be in school, but because most homeschools are kind of monitored by the state, and the homeschool kind of year is calculated kind of on the same kind of school year type thing. So yeah, you just there is a policy in Social Security policy in POMS of the 20,000 pages. Several of those pages talk about your particular situation, and I've done a few of these, and we approved them. And yeah, yep, no problem. You just have to fill out the appropriate forms and put down there the person's homeschooled, and we consider them to be a senior this year, because the child will only get it until they graduate, or 19 in basically 3 months. Sweetbug, good evening. Hey, what's up? Donna, thanks so much, Ed. You're a godsend. I appreciate it. Let's see here. What else we got here? Dennis, is the surviving spouse subject to income limits if they're not yet at FRA? Yes. Yeah. So pretty much anybody before FRA that collects benefits early, be they surviving spouses at 60 or retirement at, spouse at 62, you do have those income limits. And those income limits have, been there since, 1935, because the entire system was designed, okay, once you can no longer work, once you retire, Social Security is supposed to replace a percentage of the work, you're no longer doing. But if you're continuing to work, then that's why there's those limits there. Yeah. So a lot of people have, well, it's my money. Well, why can't I just get it? That's how the system has been designed for, a long time. Smash the thumbs. Interpol Farms is always looking out for us, so we appreciate it. And all right, Mark Fisher became a member. Yay! Thank you, appreciate it. Looking for all the help we can get. This providing all this free help is expensive. Let's see what else we got here. Donna, is a review 7 years for ESRD? ESRD, yeah, if you get a transplant, then that's then the end-stage renal disease, Medicare based on that don't really need it after that. So usually you have to notify Social Security, but that's kind of why they do check every now and then to see if you got a transplant or anything like that, whether you're okay, no longer need dialysis. And on those CDRs, watch my video on CDRs, the continuing disability review. I haven't done a video on ESRD, end-stage renal disease. I should probably do one. It gets you Medicare really, really quickly. And if you ever go to a dialysis center, it's really easy, because a dialysis center, they want their money, obviously. So they want that Medicare money. So what they'll do is almost every dialysis center I've known, they will fill out all the paperwork for you, fill out the form. Oh gosh, 3188. It's a big long blue form. It's a manual form. Is that I forget the particular form number, but yeah, the dialysis center will send it in for you, and then you just have to follow up and file a claim. So, all right, Cindy, sorry I'm late. Hey, no problem. Better late than never. I notified Social Security that my dad passed away 3/17. Sorry to hear that. Do I need to just go to Social Security in person to claim the 255? Um, so yeah, if you are receiving benefits on his record, you're a disabled child receiving benefits on his record, you can get it. But if you're not, then sorry. Yeah, we used to get people coming in all the time wanting that 255, and yeah, it only goes to the current spouse, not ex-spouses, and children that are actually receiving benefits on his record. So, but in terms of the last check, um, that last check for March that will come in April, he will not get that because again, he had to be alive the entire month. So just don't close out the bank accounts or anything like that. Just leave it in there. Social Security probably will just stop it because it happened on the 17th. But if for some reason the check does go in April, just leave it there. The Department of Treasury will pull it out. And yeah, sorry for your loss. Noah, $10. Thank you. All right. My coffee and beer for the night. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Noah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Irene Lopez. Hi, Dr. Ed. Thank you for shedding so much light on all of these complicated topics and making it so easy to understand, plus other forms and numbers one might need. So grateful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. It's my retirement for Social Security lasted about a week, and yeah, here I am. So, okay, let's see here. What else we got? On my job, I will be fully retired with 28 years, no reduction. So you said I would get reduced for survivor benefits. So I think this is about working and receiving benefits. Yeah, it's it's not a reduction based on windfall elimination. Maybe that's what we're talking about. Yeah, if you receive benefits early and you're working over the annual earnings limit, then yeah, watch my video on working while receiving benefits. If I have been married for 34 years but separated from him for almost 20 and I'm on disability, can I draw off my other exes? He is still working. Absolutely. If yeah, whether you're separated, Social Security still considers you to be married. So even if you haven't officially divorced, and you're on disability, so you technically yes, but is it worth it? Type of thing, and depends on your particular age. So I would call Social Security and have them run the numbers. Say, hey, I'm currently receiving disability and I'm receiving this much. But he's still alive, so you can only collect up to 50% of his benefit amount. So you have to understand that. So if he would pass, then you can collect, possibly twice as much. So, but hey, it doesn't hurt to be prepared and knowledgeable. So call Social Security and run the numbers and have them run the numbers. There's places out there, online calculators and stuff like that, where you can kind of play around with the numbers and stuff. And you never get them right. People have paid, some, Social Security experts, a few $100s to run the numbers. And I've seen thousands of those when I worked at Social Security, and they're never right. So just call Social Security and say, give me the official numbers. So there's that. But you won't get the official 100% perfect numbers until you actually file a claim. So they can give you kind of estimates, but when you file the claim, that's when you get the definitive numbers. And then once you get the definitive numbers, you can decide at that time, says, oh, okay, that's how much it's going to be. 100%. That's definitely how much it's going to be if I start benefits next month. And they say, yep, that's it. That's definitely how much you're going to get. And you say, oh, okay, well, never mind. And Social Security employee will be so happy because it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm done with that. So it'll make their life easier, actually. So don't worry about, inconveniencing them by, doing that. So it's your right to get the numbers. It's your right to plan. Hey, bro, man, what's up? How's it going? Do you think a 1% FICA increase split between Social Security and Medicare will solve the upcoming money distribution problem coming in 2020, 2034? I think everything will help. That's one of the kind of talking points of, oh, if this isn't a silver bullet, then this won't solve everything, solve the trust fund for another 100 years and, give Ed back his hairline. And, if it doesn't solve everything, we're not going to do it. And it's like, come on, come on. Every little bit helps. So I think it's a combination of, I disagree with raising the retirement age, but yeah, increasing the cap. So, the people over 168,000 also pay, more of their income like we do. Increasing FICA possibly. That usually kind of hurts the little guy. So I think raising the cap would probably be, and a few other things as well. So yeah. All right. Sir, I wrote to you yesterday concerning I get tons of emails and stuff. So that's why I'm doing this live. All right, let's see. Deanna Ashby, what form and when do I file to inform Social Security my son still has a year of school left? Thank you for answering. Oh gosh, 770 SSA student report. What form is it? Student reporting form 1383. It is 1383. Yeah, so that's the form. So I lost that one. I've got thousands of forms in my head, but for some reason I lost that one. So, all right. Let's see. Deanna, thank you for answering. You're welcome. Good. Howdy, howdy. Hey, howdy, howdy, howdy. You from Texas? You know the plural of y'all in Texas? All y'all? Anyway, all right. Johnny, I'm 64, still working, not collecting Social Security. We'll work until I'm 70. Awesome. Wife is 18 years younger. Awesome. Just started working 2 years ago as a teacher. Even more awesome. Good. Awesome. Should I wait till file at 70 so she has a larger survivor? Very smart. Yes, a lot of people don't take that into consideration. That as a spouse, your spouse can only collect up to 50%. So people say that, oh, okay, well, since they can only collect 50%, and it doesn't matter if I get those delayed retirement credits after my full retirement age, because that's what the TikTokers and YouTubers out there that claim to be Social Security experts, after a 2-day online seminar, they get this cute little certificate that says they're Social Security experts, and so there's millions and millions of dollars being lost because, so that's why I'm here. So yes, that is another factor to consider. Is I did a video on this. Should you take your retirement early? Should you take your retirement? I think I just did another one recently on that one. But anyway, yeah, that's another thing to figure out. It's like, okay, she can collect on her own benefits. If I guess she's 18 years younger, so it's not an issue yet. But yeah, she gets delayed retirement credits. Not when you're alive, she can only get 50%. But when you pass, if you waited till you're 70 and all of those delayed retirement credits, another 24% above your full retirement age benefit amount, she gets that. So yes, good taking that into consideration. There we go. That's what looking out for is Keo Reeves. They're going to be sad, so it's nice to make their life a little bit easier by getting all the documents set and getting something put away for, burial expenses. If you can do it for 255. Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. How long does it usually take for a first back pay normally takes? So also be donating next week. Oh, awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah. How long does it take? It's wow. It really depends what we're looking at here. Are you the one that was approved for Social Security disability from the administrative law judge? If those, yeah, those take, they have to, the judge makes a decision and then they send it to a writer and the person writes it up and everything. And yeah, so those take a while. And, you know, the Social Security offices are, backed up. So there's that, unfortunately. And that's another thing that we need to do. Oh, let's see here. He answered. He or she answered. No, I was the one that had the overpayment. Oh, okay. So if you had a overpayment and then back pay, yeah. I mean, in any time of process, super long story short, I can't. Yeah, it really depends on your particular office and the employee that's actually doing it. So yeah, but if it's taking too long and you think it shouldn't take that long, give them, a month. Unfortunately, that reach out to them, say, hey, I really need that money back. I really need this, and because of this, that, and the other, and they can put a rush on it. Kathy, thank you, Doctor. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Oh, Brahman, all right. Have a beer on me. Thank you, $5. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Everything is appreciated. All right, Donna. So, do I have this correct? I can collect Social Security in early retirement at 62 and keep working part time. I was born in 1970. So, yeah, if you were born in 1970, that means you're what, 54 years old now. So, yeah, so once you collect Social Security at 62, and yeah, you can at that time, yes, you can collect Social Security benefits and continue to work part-time. Yeah, yeah, thank you for asking that. A lot of people don't understand that. They figure once, because when Social Security employees talk about this, they always say, yeah, when you retire. And they're thinking of it, it's kind of shorthand, is in you're going to start your benefits. But a lot of people mistakenly kind of interpret that as when you retire that you no longer work. And so they think, okay, once I start my Social Security, I can no longer work. And there's another hundreds of millions of dollars out there that people, I've run across this a lot, that people should be able to receive but are not. And because of that, they're having a hard time surviving on a monthly basis. And so I run across people all the time. Oh, I'm 63 years old. I'm collecting my Social Security benefits. It's really, really tough. And I'd like to work, but I can't. No, 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 no. You can work. You can work. You just have to stay on the limit. You're just seeing survivor benefit. You can work. If you're receiving disability, yes, you can work. The limitations are a lot more complex, but you can work. So please, 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 get the word out there. I'm sure, I guarantee you there's someone around you at the local diner or the gas station or your barber or wherever that knows someone that you can, say, hey, you're struggling, um, you know, check out Dr. Ed's channel and you might be able to work. And, please, yeah, we need to get the information out there, make people's life a lot more easier. Social Security needs to do a better job of getting the information out there too. So once they do that, I'm going to retire again. So I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. Dad was divorced. Does that make any difference as to the 255? Yeah, no, yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like anybody's going to get that 255. Yeah, it only goes to the surviving spouse again, or the children. So, yep, that 255 goes back into the trust fund. So, sorry. All right, let's see here. TikTok. Ooh, do we? Oh, I think I lost you. Did are we live again? Um, hopefully it didn't end. Is everybody up? Looks like we lost connection for a little bit. Somebody give me a thumbs up that we're good. Yes. Okay. Good. Sweet bug. Always. All right. My second in command there. You're always awesome. All right. Gail asks, 70 years old and I'm 74. Um, she is getting 50% of my work history, or about $900 per month. If I and eventually die, does she get any additional financial benefits? Um, Yes. So if your benefit amount is higher, yes, which it sounds like it is. So your benefit amount is higher, and you're both after your full retirement age. So when you pass away, if you pass away first, your higher benefit amount, she will get up to what you were receiving, not both. A lot of people, I should have mentioned that in the survivor thing. A lot of people think that both checks will continue. It's kind of sorta. If she's receiving 900 and your benefit is 1800, she will continue to receive her 900 plus another 900 from yours, for a total of 1800, which is basically what you were receiving. So she won't receive 900 and 1800, right? So that's why, again, you have to set something, or what, you have to make sure you've got some money in the bank, to cover all the other type of stuff. Because, yeah, unfortunately, I've run across too many people that thought both checks were going to continue, and they do in some respect, but one minus the other. So yeah, yeah. So make sure again, you can contact someone on my team there, and let me take this off here. Yeah. So I put together a team because government insurance is not enough. So that $255 and you lost. So if you're looking for burial life insurance, just call the number there, leave your message, phone, and everything, or send me an email, and I will put you in contact with someone in your area that can help you out. So, and it's a free quotes and no obligation, all that kind of stuff. And those partners, they support our channel as well. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, let's see here. Gail, sir, my wife is a naturalized citizen and we have been married for 8 years. I'm 74 years old and she is 70. She is getting 50% based on my work record. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. Yep. It's a beautiful thing. When you eventually move on, she'll receive basically what you were receiving. Deanna, I can't draw widow's benefits until I'm 60, correct? My husband of 33 years died when I was 53 years old. Yeah, unless you're disabled. So they have what's called DWIB, disabled widows benefits, and you can collect disabled widow benefits from 50 to 60 years old. But if you're not disabled, you can absolutely collect survivor benefits starting at 60. But again, work limitations do apply. Deanna, thank you for answering. Another beer coming up. All right, I appreciate it. All right, I have to. Even when I was in the Marine Corps, I was always a lightweight. They call me one beer Weir. So I'm gonna have to drink these over a multi-day period. I won't be, I won't be able to go all in one day. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. Wow, we've gone an hour and 10 minutes. So it's a beautiful thing. I think we solved helped some people out. And so please return the favor by going out into your community and sharing the channel and telling people to join us. And if they got any questions on all things Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, make sure they join us. I do pop up whenever I got like 30 minutes or so. I pop up on live and answer questions, and kind of having fun doing this. So I'm going to keep on doing it for the next 10 or 20 years. So, all right, y'all take care. Have a beautiful weekend, and we'll